The Road to Strength podcast is now brought to you by Rob Levine, the heavy hitter. We've been really happy to have them jump on as a sponsor. I personally used them this past year. My wife was in a car accident, and they were able to help us along every step of the way through getting properly compensated, making sure we weren't getting taken advantage of by the car insurance companies, and helping through with medical payments. So if you've been in a car accident, it's definitely worthwhile. Just pick up the phone and see how they can help. The Road to Strength podcast is now sponsored by Athletic Painting and Carpentry. For all of your exterior painting, interior painting, cabinet and door resurfacing, cabinet installation, cabinet remodel, floor refinishing, carpentry, lead renovation, and power washing needs. Give them a call at 401-675-7973. Follow them on Instagram at athletic_painting_ and follow them on Facebook at Athletic Painting and Carpentry. They are an honest, local Rhode Island company that does great work.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here, host of the Road to Strength podcast. We have a very, very, very special episode on today. We are live at the Harpoon Fit Fest.
Harpoon Fit Fest.
Special guest Tim on today, co-host Tim. Tim
Co-host, yes. Super excited. Today we're going to be interviewing a bunch of different people from all different brands, it looks like. We have MyStride, we have Playa Fruit Bowls, we have Muscle Milk, we have Sweat House.
Ripple. I actually know the guys over Ripple. I got to
Common Dad. A lot of really cool people that we're going to have conversations with. Just quick intros, who they are, what do they do, and then a surprise question as we start to move on. But stay tuned. It'll be a really great episode, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Let's get after it.
Hell yeah.
What's going on?
No, thank you.
He might. Do you want peach or regular? Or
I'll go peach. Beautiful. Wide angle lens.
We got the wood stove sauna burning right now, smelling
It
good.
smells
Those breakfast tacos smell good.
Smells
Unbelievable. Well, crew, thank you so much for tuning in to the Road to Strength podcast special episode here. Like we mentioned, we are live at the Harpoon Fit Fest.
Yes.
Really great event. We actually have the man himself. I wanted to give him a quick introduction. Managing partner of Big Night Fitness.
That's a true statement.
And the mastermind behind all of this. I mean, we have MyStride, Muscle Milk, we have saunas, we have Sweat House, we have Ripple, all these different brands here to really showcase and just bring a fitness community together. So I want to give a big shout out to Conor for putting this together.
Thanks, Tim.
Of course. First question, what gave you the idea behind this?
I mean, this is kind of in a series of events. It really started off when I was working with Reebok, and we were able to put on these fitness competitions, big fitness events. And it wasn't necessarily like hey, let's all get like a really cool competition. Let's find the fittest person type thing. It is, there are so many different disciplines of fitness that have like-minded people in them, and it doesn't really matter what it is. Even in like specific, like you can get esoteric where it's like the difference between powerlifting and weightlifting and CrossFit people. It's like there's still a commonality that they're willing to work hard to improve their quality of life through fitness, and those are the type of people that I want to be around. Which that was kind of more so the brainchild behind Big Night Fitness, rather than it just be, hey guys, look what I'm doing, it's really cool. You know, I'm in a super unique position. I've had a lot of people stick their necks out for me to be able to train and be in the position that I'm in. But what's cool is that is involving a community of people that maybe don't train in the same way but have that same commonality, and it always ends up being a good time. And really what it comes down to is I just want to hang out and party with my friends.
Yeah.
And so to get you guys to come down here, I actually have to throw an epic event rather than just saying, hey, come hang out with me. So when I do this, then you guys actually feel obligated to do it. So
Yeah, for
Can
sure.
you tell us about the lineup today? So we got yoga right behind us right now.
Yes. So I've actually worked with Sarah. She is incredible. I worked with her before starting Big Night Fitness. Brought her in to teach classes at the Reebok World headquarters. She was working at Core Power at the time, but because it's a non-competitor, because they were only open for Reebok employees or tenants of the building, and was just known as the best yoga instructor in Boston, brought her in there. And then when I started Big Night Fitness, she would host events at any of our nightlife venues, as well as we've done 2 retreats, one to the Dominican Republic, one to Mexico, all-inclusive yoga retreats that have just been unbelievable. Now, a little bit more intimate setting than the probably 150 people that are out there at yoga right now.
Yeah.
But she just does such a good job at bringing people together. It's exactly what I want to do. I can't do it as well as she can.
Sure.
So I might as well piggyback off of her, bring her into these events. So Sarah is at 8. At 9 a.m., there's actually a sound bath going on inside. Christina Muccio and her brand for Sanctuary Wellness are here. I wasn't a big sound bath guy.
Never done
well,
it.
for a long
Never-
time,
yeah,
I wasn't like a meditation guy. I was like any of that like foo-foo stuff. I'm like, just tough it out. and then you lean into it a little bit more, and it's really, really unique. I actually remember we had a sound bath going on at Big Night Live, and I just went there for the sound check. I'm like, I'm not going to be in a room full of hippies that are listening to some sound. This is like ignorant, and I understand that. And I'm telling you, like in the sound check, she's like hitting the bowl and doing this thing that's supposed to like set your circadian rhythm or something of the sort. And I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, oh,
What am I feeling?
what are these feelings going on? But anyway, so starting to lean more into that. She does an incredible job. She's actually worked in conjunction with Big Night Fitness for anyone who wants like a meditative or sound bath experience. I've had her set up at the suites at Encore Boston Harbor for corporate events. She's amazing. At 10 a.m. is Michael Soros and Michael James. Michael James is a coach and owner at Everybody Fights.
Oh, I think
And
we
then-
just met him earlier, or I met him earlier.
I don't know.
And then Michael Soros has his own brand, A New Human, has an app, has some amazing athletes that he trains. Peyton Pritchard, one of his athletes. Six man a year.
Yes, let's go.
Just an incredible wealth of knowledge, but also, again, different communities of
Sure,
people.
sure.
What I love about Everybody Fights is that they're not just, hey, we're going to do boxing.
Sure.
They do boxing, they have road classes, they have spin classes, they have strength training, they have all sorts of different offerings that each pieces of the community have as well. It's like, the tread class is very similar to the MyStride tread class, yet they're both together hosting a High Rocks kind of challenge event because they're people who understand that we're not competitors in the fitness industry. We're not. We all have the 1% of people that want to train. And for some reason, some people want to fight over that 1%. It's like there's 99% of people that need our help. How do we get an outreach to bring people into this rather than saying, hey, you train at this gym or you don't train at this gym? Our echo chamber is small.
Yeah.
We know, everyone knows. It's like, hey, working out and hanging out together is a good thing. Let's get to the other people. And so by hosting events like this, by me being able to bring in these unbelievable community members is really how this all came about. And then at noon class, the Batista Boot Camp and the B-Fit, which is what myself and Margarite have been doing with Darren Batista and Jamie Hines.
Very cool.
That'll kind of close it out. We're going to do some stuff with like keg lifts and medicine balls.
Nice.
Perform better actually in like the 9th inning. We're like, hey, we want to supply you with some gear. We want to like be involved in this. And we were like, okay, good. So we've got some medicine balls in there. We have barbells from Vivest over there. Like I said, we have the High Rock station set up. All of these different gyms are giving exclusive discounts for people to join because, again, it's not just us marketing and promoting this. That's the cool thing about Harpoon is they have a huge demographic of people that we're not going to reach. They're not going to follow me on social media. They're not going to open my emails. But when they say, hey, we're running this all-inclusive and yes, one ticket price gets you everything, but also inclusive in the environment. Like it doesn't matter what your fitness status is, like we'll be able to take care of you with the knowledge of all the coaches that are training. But it allows them to come in and then we can highlight anything we want. We have F45 and MyStride right next to each other. And those are, some may see those as competitors.
Sure.
But if someone spins a wheel and they say, hey, I've heard about F45, I want to do that, and it makes them join that gym, awesome.
Yeah.
If they say, hey, I've heard of MyStride or I want to try both of these things, again, we're not fighting over the 1%. It's getting these other people in there, and I'm so excited to see. I knew Sarah. She always pulls through an incredible crowd, but to see her right now with, that's definitely
crowd.
over 150 people there on that court right now, which
It's a big yoga class.
Yeah, it's just really cool to see. I'm super fortunate also to have my my friends with the Roadie Strength podcast coming down here, so super grateful for that.
That's right. Yeah, man. Well, I think that's fantastic, and I think you do a great job of, like you had mentioned before, getting a community together of people and not arguing over who's better at the 1%.
Yeah, I
just
like that
getting
analogy.
folks involved and saying, hey, we're all here. We all love fitness. Let's just have some fun.
Definitely, and it's it's kind of a spawn of the the brainchild that was Wad on the Waves.
Yep.
Which was the most epic fitness party ever thrown, which is really
Is
just
that
an
coming back?
opportunity for me to hang out with all of my like really, really fit, cool people friends. And I just find my place, since I'm not at that like really, really fit, cool person. I'm just at my place where like I know all of those people, so I just ride their backs on it, and they're like, "Oh, Rich Froning, like that's awesome." But that was an incredible experience, and so we want to try to take pieces of that, and then eventually I'd like to do it again. Yeah, I would love to do it. It was one of the craziest experiences. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're probably, which is everyone. We chartered an entire cruise ship, the Mariner of the Seas from Royal Caribbean, and we filled it with just under 3,000 people, removed lawn chairs from the pool deck, filled it with ski ergs, rowers, concept tube bikes. We had 2 pull-up rigs that were built. We had sandbags on the helicopter pad. We had dumbbells and kettlebells on the basketball courts. There was running workouts. There was aerobic capacity with Chris Hinshaw. There were nutrition lectures. The good dudes were there. Froning, Bridges, Dan Bailey. It was like we had Olympic lifting seminars with PVC pipes on. There was sunrise yoga classes. And that was like, it stopped at noon. And then at noon, everyone knew what was up. Everyone was like, all right, it's time. Some of the most epic parties. Oh, you heard stories that if the interior walls or bulkheads of that ship could tell stories, we'd have some lawsuits on our hands. But no, it was awesome. I was just super fortunate to be a part of that, to be a part of the team that had the funding to do that, and then to bring me on just as like a, hey, let's have this guy as a party supplier. So. And
it led to building the idea of the Harpoon Fit Fest. So it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle. Well, dude, I mean, I love you. I'm proud of you, man. I'm super stoked that you allowed Matt and I to be here. One question, loaded question.
Okay.
And if you had a billboard on 95 coming to and from the city, they could say anything that you want. It's a poster for Conor Murphy.
You mean 93?
93, sure. What would it say?
Just for me or for my companies?
Anything you want.
It's hard. It's hard to think about that because you have to have something succinct because you only actually get 10 seconds. You can't have less than 10 seconds on a billboard because if it cycles through, that's actually from a dangerous hazard.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, you don't want people like staring at that and reading a novel. You know, I do like that. I do like that Tommy V all in all the time thing, and I try to live. Obviously, I'm not like I'm all in all the time with everything. I definitely fall short in probably most areas of my life, but something just about going for it.
Nice.
You know, like if 30 people showed up to this class and we only sold 50 total tickets for the event, I'd still be having just as good of a time.
Yeah, sure.
And I think I had a big fear about if I did something and I didn't have people show up, then it looked bad and people would be like, oh, that person can't bring people in.
Sure.
And man, I don't have the selling power that a lot of people do, that's for sure. But it shouldn't stop you from doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe just I don't know, go for it.
How many tickets you sell?
For this?
Yeah.
I didn't check this morning, but we're just shy of 450.
So when Conor tells you he doesn't have the ability to sell tickets, there's going to be 400 people that bought tickets to come here today.
I said, I don't. I don't. What I do is bring in people that do.
Sure.
Well, awesome, man.
Takes a village.
That's true.
I think, again, I think what you're doing here is incredible. Such a great turnout. I'm excited for the day to go on. But, again, Conor Murphy, folks, if you're watching this live, you can see his beautiful face here. If you're watching it over a podcast or you're listening to it on Spotify or something.
And use your imagination.
You're at Conor T. Murphy, correct, on Instagram and social?
That's me.
We'll link you, too.
Conor T. Murphy, yeah.
Or at Big Night Fitness. That's kind of the brand that's doing it. Yeah, you'll look at my profile and be like, what does this person do? He just, just has a daughter. He just rides the coattails of his daughter being a lot cuter than he is and other cool people. That's pretty much me,
Nothing wrong with that.
No. Well, dude, I love you, man. Thank you again for jumping on and putting this together. Appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thank you, man.
Fist me.
All right, and we're rolling. Margarite, what's going on?
Oh, you guys, I'm just having a great day at Harpoon Fit Fest. How are you guys doing?
We're doing
So
good.
good.
We're doing good. So the goal of today is to ask folks in the fitness industry a few questions. First one being, tell us who you are and what do you do?
My name is Margarite Lee. I am a fitness professional in Boston. I work at a group fitness studio called MyStride, and then I also do personal training and online training.
Nice. How'd you get into it?
I got into it about 4 or 5 years ago. I started off as a spin instructor, just on the side, teaching a couple classes a week. I was working a corporate sales job, and I was absolutely miserable, and then took the dive to go full-time fitness, and I will never go back.
Nice. And what are some of the brands that you mentioned that you work with?
So I work at a studio called MyStride. That is my main full-time job. I manage there. I do marketing there. I do some work with Big Night Fitness. I do some boot camp classes with them. And then I also do some classes with Viore. So that's a clothing brand that I get to go out to California with sometimes. I do some online video shooting with them, some workout classes. So,
Nice. What is the biggest piece of advice that you would give somebody that was in a similar position as you in a corporate job and they really love fitness, so they're doing it as a hobby, but they want to make that transition to do it full time?
One, just go for it. You will never want to go back. I would say that it is a risk. Obviously, you sort of lose that security of the full-time corporate job and everything. However, if you put your all into it, you put your passion to it, go for it. It'll work out, and don't be afraid to reach out to mentors. I think that was the biggest thing for me, was asking the people that I saw before me do it, how they did it. And I think you really got to lean on those sort of people.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah, you don't have to go at it alone. You can ask for help.
Absolutely. And I always found that people in the fitness industry, because it's all people that are super passionate about helping others, that they're willing to help you as well if you're looking to go for it full time. So
nice.
Also, shout out Viore. I haven't got any Viore yet, but the clothing looks awesome. It looks super comfy.
I mean, I got it on right now. It's pretty good. I'm always repping it. Yeah.
Nice. And so what is your goal today with FitFest? Like, what are you hoping to get out of it?
I think just the community aspect of it. I mean, I love working out. I think that's always fun to get a good workout in, but I just think getting to meet people coming to the event, getting to meet the other brands here, I just think there's something really powerful about community. And then when you add that whole aspect of wellness to it, I just think like this is my ideal type of day, is just working out, fitness, wellness. So just meeting people, connecting with people, and lots of good energy from all the people here.
For sure, for sure. We have one last question, Dr. Matt, before we ask anything on your mind.
No, I mean, this is so cool for me, this whole experience, having the remote podcast. I'm so excited to talk to so many people. Obviously, you're with the booth over at MyStride.
Sure
today.
am. That's us.
So it's, I mean, so cool that you guys are out here. But yeah, let's top it off with that last question.
Margarite,
Tim.
if you had a billboard on 95, everyone's driving into Boston, to and from, driving into Boston or leaving Boston, and it's a billboard for Margarite Lee, what would you want it to say?
Oh, boy.
I prepped you with this.
You did prep me with this, and I told you I'd think about it, and I'm still thinking about it. I would say, I don't know the exact slogan I'd put on it, but it would be something along the lines of mental movement, in the sense of movement for your mental health.
Nice. Love
I
that.
think it would be something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I'll have to come up with the slogan. I'll get back to you guys.
Nice.
I like that. I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good inside out.
Yep,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
For sure. Well,
Maybe that's it. It's not just
That's
about
it. You figured it out.
It's not just about looking good.
it's about looking good inside, feeling good inside.
Hold on, guys. I got to go start my brand. I'll
There
be
we
back.
go.
Well,
Perfect.
Margarite, we love you. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank
Guest
you,
number
guys.
one.
Yes.
Guest number one.
Yes.
You know what? Roadie Podcast.
That's
There
right.
we go.
That's
Check
right.
'em out.
That's
There we
right.
go.
That's right. Well, thank you, Margarite.
Thank you,
Pleasure to
guys.
have you on, and thank you for telling us who you are.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was awesome.
All right, what's going on, guys? We got guest number 3, Steve Ledogar. What's
up,
happening, man?
Thanks for having me, boys.
Of course,
Appreciate
of course.
Hell yeah.
Last time I talked to you, we were at Invictus.
Yeah,
I think,
that was,
or the last time on the official pod, Invictus.
Yeah, last summer, right? It was a
Yep.
good time.
Yep.
No, last time you saw him was in my apartment.
Well, at your apartment, but on the pod. I meant
At my
on the
house.
pod.
Yeah, that was a good time too.
Yeah.
That was a
yeah.
great time. Dude, super stoked to have you on. Just so the crowd knows who you are, quick intro. Who are you and what do you do?
Steve Ledogar, CrossFit coach at CrossFit Tilton Waltham and Big Night CrossFit here in Charlestown.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Yep.
How did you find your way to Big Night Fitness?
So I started coaching at Tilt Waltham.
Yep.
Last year during Murph, Conor came by the gym. He did Murph at Tilt Waltham last year.
Like 20 minutes probably.
He did. I think it was like 15 something.
yeah.
It was freaking crazy. But yeah, so we met through there, then kind of connected and dropped into classes through Big Night, and then kind of basically like inserted myself into just being like, I'm going to start like coaching here.
Good.
He's like,
Very cool.
sick. And I was like, okay, cool. So we just started running with it, continuing to build it up, grow the classes, and it's the best time, dude. Absolutely love it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. How long have you been coaching CrossFit?
2.5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you get your L1 at Reebok?
No, I got it. Where did I get it?
Or One Nation
I got
or
it in
something?
Southie.
Nice.
Actually. CrossFit Southie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Not too far from here.
No, right around the corner. Yeah.
There's something really cool that you've been doing that I want to, let the people know about, which is your hero workouts.
Yeah. Yep. So hero workouts, for those that don't know, designed to honor fallen service members that gave the ultimate sacrifice. So yeah, I've been doing it for the past almost year or so through Navy SEAL Foundation, set up a donation page, donation link, all that good stuff, trying to raise money and incorporate fitness into like meaning something a little bit more than just like not only getting fit, but actually having an impact on people's lives, especially, you know, people that gave their lives for the country. So I think that's the most important thing. So it's a 500 hero workout challenge, done
for the year.
Yep. Well, no, for like however long it's.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Probably going to take, I don't know, 2 years, 2.5 years maybe.
Sure.
Just going to keep it rolling.
Sure.
So yeah, down about 135 right now.
So how do you I guess plan these out? Do you do one a week? Like what makes you say, all right, I'm going to do a hero workout today, or I'm going to do it on Monday, or like how do you plan these types of workouts out?
So I try to do it as many days as I can.
Gotcha.
You know, life does happen. Life gets in the way. Things come up. But I try to get at least like 3 to 4 in per week.
Damn. Sure.
For those of you that don't know, like Steve had mentioned, hero workouts are CrossFit style workouts where they are supposed to be extremely challenging. Hence, hero workout, they gave the sacrifice so you suffer, quote unquote, to familiarize yourself with a fraction of what they went through. So that's a hero workout. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's not like a typical like bench press pull up. Like they're hard. Give us an example of one.
Yeah, what's the hardest one? What's the hardest one you've done?
The hardest one I've done is probably Clovis. It's just a 10-mile run into 150 burpee pull-ups, just like.
How long did that take you?
Well over an hour.
I can imagine.
So well over an hour.
How many have you done every single one at this point, or how many are there?
So I use a website, Wadwell.
Okay.
If anybody's heard of that, pretty popular. You can go on that site for literally anything. They have filters. You can filter out hero workouts, and based on the website, there's like 1,100.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I literally just like I'll go down the list. I'll be like, well, I did that movement yesterday, so I'm going to do this one today.
Smart.
And you know, sometimes you got to go back to back, but it is what it is.
And they're probably, so you're doing it probably across what 2-3 years. You said there probably will be more hero workouts as they come up.
Absolutely.
People
absolutely. People. So the way it works is people submit, the website approves it, and then they write a little bio. So on my Instagram, every time I post it up, I have the donation link in my bio there, and
very cool.
Each post I have the write-up of what the workout actually is, who it's for, and you know what it symbolizes and all that.
Cool. How can they find you?
Steven.Leto with a PH, Steven with a PH on Instagram. Yep.
Very cool.
That's fantastic, dude. Well, I mean, I think what you're doing is awesome. I think the purpose behind what you're doing and, putting yourself through that is, one, challenging in itself, but two, I think speaks a lot to, your character, which is awesome.
Thanks,
again,
man.
I think being here, helping out with the event, working with Big Night Fitness, obviously it's no easy task, and I think being able to coordinate something like this is unbelievable.
Yeah. What I've really learned over the past few months is you got to just attack life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you want something, you just got to insert yourself into the situation, bust your butt for it, and then things end up working out. Still got a long way to go, but.
You never know unless you try.
Super stoked. Exactly. Super stoked with what's going on.
That's cool.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time, doing things that I wasn't super fulfilled with.
Yep.
Yeah.
So finding, CrossFit, finding these different gyms, finding, the athletes that I coach, it brings me, satisfaction and fulfillment every single day, and I couldn't ask for anything more than that, which is kind of why I started that Hero Workout Challenge. I wanted just to do something like that means a little bit more than just working out for the sake of working out. A little bit more meaning behind it. So
Purpose.
I love that.
That's awesome,
Absolutely.
dude. I mean, man, I feel inspired for sure. I mean, that's fantastic. Loaded question that we're asking everyone today. You're driving in and out of Boston. You're on the highway, right? There's a billboard for Steve. It can say anything about you, anything you want. It can be about fitness. It can be about your life. It can be anything. What would you want that billboard to say? People have 5 seconds to look at it.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Love it.
With a picture of you smiling, shirtless, abs out, something like that.
Yeah. Still working on that 6-pack. Still got another month before summer.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Exactly.
That's
Just let
awesome,
it go.
dude.
I mean, again, trying to find things that resonate with, most people. Everyone has demons. Everyone has things they're not proud of in their past. Everyone has, different avenues they've gone down in life, tried, haven't gone, the best way. So I always, learn to just let it go, or really try to implement that into my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And talking to not only friends about it, but athletes in my gyms or the gyms that I coach at. That's the most relatable thing on
Let it go.
a human level is everyone's got something that they need to let go.
Totally.
So
Totally.
yeah, and if you can just move forward and find happiness in just one little thing each day and just try to build yourself better, that's all you can ask for. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a theme. A theme of as the billboard so far. Margarite, Conor,
Yeah.
Steve.
yeah?
I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Yeah, fitness related, but also mental health, wellness related.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's that's the most important thing. If your mind's right, your body's going to be right, and if your body's right, then
100%, dude.
you can live a great quality life.
100%, man.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thanks for being on.
Yeah, I appreciate you, boys.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you
brother.
very much.
Of course. Get some workouts in. Cheers, dude.
get it.
Hell yeah,
Cheers.
thank you.
All right, and we're back with another guest, Sal, over at Everybody Fights.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? So tell us who you are, what you do, and what brought you here today.
Yeah, man. My name is Sal. During the day, I help companies design shoes, running shoes, training shoes. But early mornings or late evenings, you can catch me at Everybody Fights.
That's right.
With personal training or high rocks training as well.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And you said you help design shoes?
I help brands design the internal fit of their shoes. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So Sal and I met at Ruben's Jiu-Jitsu gym in Boston. That's how we met, because it was right below Noble. And Sal worked at Noble at the time, and so Sal would come down, and we started hanging out and talking. And then one day, I was joking around with him. I was like, "Dude, you gotta hook me up with some gear." And the next day, he's like, he gave me a ride home. He's like, "Open the trunk." I was like, I thought they were going to open a kilo of weed or something. I opened it up, and there's shoes. I'm like, man. And you gave me a pair of golf shoes that I still to this day wear whenever I golf.
Yeah,
I got 3 pairs of shoes. I walk in my room, and she's like, "What the hell did you get them?" I'm like, "My boy Sal." My boy Sal. No, but so
Were they the Noble golf shoes?
yes.
Those are cool.
So-
Those are cool.
So Sal and I met years ago. He was working at Noble, and then you just mentioned that now you're helping brands design the inside of the shoe. So what does that mean? The cushions, the stitching, or?
The internal fit. So literally we mock up what the foot would look like in the shoe.
Ah.
So it's called the last. I know it's a weird word, but it's called the last. And you cannot design a shoe without the last.
Okay.
Is that the last? Okay.
Yeah, so it's this hard plastic or wooden model that we then give off to the designers, and they'll make a pattern on top of that.
Gotcha.
And that's how they'll make this upper. And then that's how they'll make the midsole and the outsole for that shoe.
Interesting.
So you can't make a shoe
And you're a
without
shoe
that.
guy.
Yeah, dude, man. I've been
You're a shoe guy. So it makes sense. And so how'd you get into the high rock stuff?
high rock stuff.
Here, pull your mic up just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I got you. It's funny. My previous relationship, my ex.
All right.
So if my current girlfriend's watching, stop right here.
Pause. Skip. Fast forward. Yeah.
No, she told me, she's like, "Hey, I'm doing this race called High Rocks," and this was 3 years ago, and I'm like, "What the hell is High Rocks?" And she goes, "I think you'll like it because at the time I would run a lot, and I would also lift, but I was just trying to find that balance between the two." And then she goes, "Oh, hear me out. This is the race. You'll start off by running 1 kilometer, you hit your first station, and you repeat that 8 times." I was like, "What are the stations?" And she lists them out. I was like, "Oh shit! This is pretty dope."
Yeah.
And then I did my first race in Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
So
Not a bad first race.
dude, I would go back to Dubai in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you would or wouldn't?
I would.
You would, okay.
Dude, the people out there are so nice.
That's awesome.
But it was hot as like balls over there.
I bet.
But after I completed my first race, I got hooked.
Yeah.
Instantly, I'm like, okay. And it was one of those things where like I love to compete.
Yep.
Like I know I'm not going to be like hitting the podium, but
Yeah.
it's like I know I can be better.
Yeah.
And
sure.
so after my first race, I was like, okay, I definitely could have pushed it in this area.
Sure.
I definitely could have ran faster on leg 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was like, I'm hooked. So I then completed another race, and then I connected with one of the guys at High Rocks, and that's how we started the conversation rolling with becoming a performance coach here in Boston.
Cool.
Yeah.
So cool. I was telling Sal earlier that when we did our High Rocks, before it was cool.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
No, but we did it 2
we
years
caught it
ago
early.
in New York City, and
Blast.
we had a blast. And I don't know if he did. I didn't train for it just because I'm like, you know what, CrossFit, I can do this. Like, I got it. No issue. It is what it is. And eventually we did the first run, or the first station. Well, you run, and then I think we had like a 5-minute pace. And we go to the skier, and then we go run again. And I was telling Sal, we got to the sled, and I went to go push. I was just like stuck. and then from there, he was faster. He is faster than me. And I was looking because I had the time. And I kept being like, dude, we got to slow down. We got to slow down. And after the race, like, I was just like, and he even said it as well, the way that the event is just run. Mm-hmm. The stations, the atmosphere, like the warm-up area, everything was just everything moved like so succinctly. And there was never like clutter or clog, or even if you were running, you weren't like running in between people.
Yeah.
Just the High Rocks did such a good job of like taking what CrossFit was and now making it this whole new sport where you don't have to look like that young jacked lady over there to be able to do High Rocks. You know what I mean? Like you can do High Rocks and do whatever you want. So I think that's awesome, dude. Good for you.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good for you.
What I'm starting to see now is just like
Here, pull that up again.
what I'm starting to. How's that?
There you go.
There we go. My bad. What I'm starting to see now is just like the acceptance of like the hybrid athlete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like man,
Nick Bear
like
made it cool.
Yes. Yes.
and then like what I love also like seeing right now is just like this wellness. Like people are like learning how to take care of their body.
Yep.
Like understanding like, hey, you gotta sleep consistency like every night.
Yeah.
Cold plunge, hot plunge, like stretching, like just understanding like what you need for your body. You know, it's a beautiful thing. What I love seeing right now. You know.
Yeah.
I think High Rocks is really allowing people, like you just said, to take fitness a bit more seriously. And it's not just, you go to the gym and you bang out a workout for an hour. It's like you're doing the cold plunge, you're doing a sauna, you're doing sound baths, and you're doing all these things. And it's just like, I think the community of High Rocks is what CrossFit wanted to be. And I think it's awesome. I mean, so you reached out to someone from High Rocks and you were like, hey, I love this, I want to be a part of it, or like what happened?
Yeah, so I reached out to this guy. His name is Constantine.
Okay.
He's the Northeast district manager of the United
How'd you
States.
find him?
I just online, dude.
Nice.
Honestly, and I
Yeah.
just connected, just reached out.
Yeah.
And he hit me right back immediately.
Nice.
And then he told me, he's like, all right, we have this course that you can take. Very similar to CrossFit, that you take this foundation course, you pass it, and then you can get your level 1 certificate afterwards.
Okay.
But it's a
Cool.
long process. Honestly, it took about 3 to 4 months
Oh,
to
okay.
get everything
Wow.
all together. But honestly, I thought it was a lot harder than getting my NASM.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot harder than getting my my NASM certificate.
Wow.
But honestly, it's a lot of work, but definitely worth it. Honestly.
That's awesome. And as you train folks in High Rocks and you start to become more involved in it, what's one thing you notice where someone comes to you, just someone off the street says hey, I want to do a High Rocks. Is it their running that needs work? Is it certain stations? What do you notice that you're seeing in the trend as you're starting to train people with the High Rocks stuff?
When it comes to High Rocks, what I see is a lot of people focus so much time on the stations.
Yeah.
And they forget about the running aspect. And half the race,
5
it's
miles,
running.
right?
Yeah.
Just under 5 miles. And it's when you're training for running, you have to train more than 5 miles because you also have to account of the amount of space you're running in the rock zone. So that's the transition area at the race.
True.
And so people would just train running 1 kilometer,
Okay.
maybe 6 or 8 times, but they're not accounting the 5 to 8 0.05 to like 10 miles, 0.10 miles.
Yeah.
Added in the race with that rock zone area.
Wow.
So
Sure.
it's always running, man. And they focus so much time on the first 3 stations.
Yeah.
The ski erg, the sled push, and the sled pull.
Yeah.
Huh.
But honestly, you have to just pace yourself.
Sure.
And like, if you're going at a sprint pace at like 30 like meters, like strokes per minute on the ski erg, like you're just truly gonna kill yourself. You're gonna smoke yourself, man. Like, you have to pace yourself because, like, yes, it's so easy to get caught in the moment with the adrenaline pumping, like people cheering you on, the loud music, and like. As humans, we love to compare ourselves. So, like, if we see a person right next to us,
100%.
to the right or to the left, and this guy or this girl's like ripping it on the ski erg, it's like, oh shit! Like, I gotta keep up. I gotta keep up with them.
Yeah.
But that's where people like mess up. So I always tell them, like, you have to stay disciplined.
Yeah.
Like, stick to your game plan. Just focus on your own screen. It's
Yeah.
hard, but I tell them just like stay disciplined. Go in with a game plan and running.
Yeah.
Well, that's like when we signed up for it. It got delayed because COVID, right? It was supposed to be in Boston, actually.
It was supposed to be in
It was
Boston.
supposed to be in Boston.
It was supposed to be in
And
Boston.
it got delayed because
Yep.
of COVID. And then they were like, hey, we're just going to do it in New York. If you guys already paid for Boston, we'll just transition there.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And so he hit me up like a week before, and he was like, hey, reminder, we have High Rocks this weekend. And so
Tim's like, what?
I was like, what, we do? And so I went to the gym.
Been running? Nope.
I went to the gym. He goes, you been training? I go, nope. We went to the gym, and I did different stations, and I would go back to the treadmill and run 800 meters. And I was going to do 8 stations and run 800 meters in between. I did 3. I ran the 800, and I was like, I'm good.
I'm good. I got this.
And I got there, and I was just like, I'm not good.
Oh,
I mean, even just like in the RX or not the Pro Division, whatever it's called.
At the Open.
Open. Like, there's some studs, dude. There's
Yeah.
some studs.
Seriously, man.
Male and female, yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, like, you just see like these athletes now like hitting sub 60.
Yeah, that's
Like-
ridiculous.
And I'm just like, yo, what the hell? And then you'll see like doubles hitting sub 50.
Like the Hunter McIntyre dude. And
dude, like these guys
Yeah.
are cooking.
yeah.
But it's, trust me, man, like these hybrid athletes right now are, they're truly something else.
Taking over
right?
the world. I mean, Nick Bear like made it cool. Like there's you see on
Yeah.
I see on social media all the time. It's like kids will be like, I just ran 10 miles, I ate a pound of steak, and then I went I went bench 315. I'm like, what, man?
Yeah. It's two total opposites in fitness, the spectrum, and they're bringing it together, which is cool.
It's finding that balance between the two, which is
Yeah.
a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Billboard question?
Yes. You can say
All
you say
right.
it better than me. So
All right, so our last question,
Okay.
which can be a tough question,
All right.
is you get a billboard in Boston for the day. You can put
Gotcha.
whatever you want on it. So picture in your head either Route 95 or 93,
Yeah.
cars driving by. Some people in the past would put like maybe a favorite quote. One person gave us like this like art picture that
Yep.
they painted for us and we visualized. What would you put on your billboard?
Everything in life is temporary.
dude,
Nice.
Yeah.
that was
I'm telling you.
That was good. You
That
had
was
that
good.
ready. You had that ready, yeah.
I read your mind, baby. No, it's like we get stuck in the moment sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
man. Like if we're going through something, like we feel like that just might feel forever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
honestly, it's like it's just that moment, and
Yeah.
what I've learned in the past is just kind of like accept it. Like that's life. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck.
Totally.
But just accept it, and you're gonna learn or get something out of that.
Totally.
And so even happiness, dude. Like if you're winning in life in that moment, take it all in.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last forever. Like
Yeah.
you're going
Yeah.
to hit up like a bump in the road.
Yeah.
And so I'll just say like appreciate everything. Just everything in life is like temporary, dude. You know.
Cool.
love it.
I love it.
My
Well,
dog.
hey,
Hey.
thanks for being
Thank you,
on.
fellas.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, that was awesome.
All right, and we are back. Another great guest, Casey, over at Ripple in Boston.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, what brought you here.
Yeah, I run and own Ripple Physical Therapy, which is 3 PT clinics in Boston as of this week. We're in Brookline Village, Back Bay, and South End. Fully cash-based, out-of-network. We definitely all prefer treating like in the wellness realm, like trying to get kind of the physical therapy name out of healthcare and away from insurance, and recognizing there's so much space for it in injury prevention and
Yeah.
wellness and all of that stuff. So we love coming to events like this and meeting like-minded individuals, other gyms, all of that, because that's definitely like more the clientele we share is people that are just like fit and active and looking to improve on all kind of aspects of health and wellness rather than just like when something hurts.
Totally. Yeah, and you guys run like I've heard of you guys before. I've met Jeremy before. He's awesome, and you guys run a great company. Everything down to like even like your branding and your logo is just it looks cool. Like your clothing, this stuff just looks cool. So you guys have done definitely a great job with that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
What got you into PT?
Got injured myself like most. I was a big runner in high school. Tore my hip flexor, and it was like junior year when you had to apply to colleges. I was like, this seems like a fun thing to maybe do. I'm actually surprised like it stuck because I had no experience on like the side of being a PT. I was just a patient. I was like, sure, this. Like, mom and dad, stop bugging me. I'll just do that.
Yeah.
But then, got into it. Obviously, it's a long time in school and started out in a few insurance clinics, bounced around a bit before I met Jeremy and Ripple. 4 years ago now, which is crazy. I came out of school not knowing this type of thing existed. It is pretty new. And I think around 4 years ago, they've been popping up like a little bit more the out-of-network space. And I think it's giving, now that we're up to 7 PTs, it's been really cool to pull people out of those like terrible insurance, people at a time issues and get them into an area where like they can use this 7-year doctoral education to like the fullest.
Yeah. And obviously I can relate really well because we do very similar, the same thing essentially. I have own a PT clinic in Providence and I do the cash-based route. So you're preaching to the choir with me, and I know Tim has had experience as at least being on the consumer side of things as far as like the difference that you can see between like, okay, this is a high capacity, high volume clinic versus hey, this is a one-on-one. We're going to treat you how you need to be treated type clinic. So,
exactly.
So definitely a need for it.
So how did you end up at the Fit Fest?
We just have been in talks with we work a lot with a lot of the gyms that are here, do a lot of events with them. So we heard about a few of these guys being here, and then they reached out to us seeing if we'd want to do it because they've seen us at events and such, doing injury screens, doing all of that, and it was a very easy yes. Like I think I said yes and paid the invoice that day. It was like, count me in. Let me find my tent.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so cool how there's, and we've been pretty much saying this to everybody, but how there's so many different types of fitness brands here.
Yeah.
And Conor had said it really well earlier where we all have the 1% of people that enjoy being fit at this festival, but F45 and MyStride, physical therapists, like you guys are here to just spread good vibes and build a good community, and it's not like the F45 tent and the MyStride tent aren't talking to each other because they don't want to lose members or steal members. So I think this is such a great concept, and I mean, I think the idea behind Ripple, and it sounds like it's a very lucrative business in terms of just passion and really enjoying like what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I would say it is. It's a lot of fun, and I think the whole, I'm biased, but I think they would say that too if you go ask them, I hope. But yeah, events like this are like our favorite thing to do because it just shows where it fits in wellness and collaboration. Like we would never want to steal, the like clients from their trainers. Like it fits into that. Like we can use our PT education while they're seeing these gym trainers that are awesome and going to the gym and doing the saunas and cold plunges and just being a part of like their wellness is like signified in what this is today. Like obviously it covers all of that, and people could be doing all of these things in unison and like having everyone on board toward like their goals, which is just a cool concept. And I think Boston is like a really cool space for it because the wellness community is pretty close. Like there's a lot of things like this that happen, and it's really cool being able to all communicate and collaborate and not be like in competition with each other either.
Totally. Yeah, funny. Off air, I was just talking to one of the trainers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I go see them at Ripple. Actually, you know what? I should go back. My hip's still bugging me." I'm like, "Hey, go talk to them."
There's a table right over
there. Right there, yeah.
Free treatment.
That's good. It increased exposure, and like Tim was saying, like the collaboration, like that. It doesn't feel like we have to like compete against. It's like oh, how can we help each other, which is awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun that way.
Yeah. So our final question, a loaded question, a tough question for some. If you get a billboard on 93 or 95, pick your poison, for the day, put whatever you want on the billboard, what would it be? So some people might say, a favorite quote. One person painted this like art picture for us verbally, but I could picture it. What would your billboard, do whatever you want with it, what would you put on it for the day?
I mean, probably would be all the Ripple colors, because like you said, they're fun to look at.
Yes,
We've got some cool designs. I mean, my biggest thing that I've been pushing for is just that, like, physical therapy isn't in the medical system anymore. Like, physical therapy isn't insurance-based.
Sure.
And I think people understanding that PT, this is not a billboard because this is a long sentence.
It could be, but people won't read it in time as they're driving by.
Boston always has traffic.
Exactly.
Right.
You got some time.
Good point.
Maybe you don't need to be in pain to go to physical therapy. Something
Nice.
like
Sure.
that. Because I think
Yeah.
there's so much room for treating stuff before it's terrible, before
Sure.
it's surgical, and before it's all of that.
Yeah.
And being able to prevent that for people is like the most rewarding thing in the world. So
Totally. Sure.
I think more people understanding you can just go to PT
Yeah.
and like use that person's brain to help you do what you do
Yeah.
is really cool. And the more people we teach that, it spreads. And I think
Yes.
Boston knows that, but I think being able to shout that from a billboard would
Yes.
help a lot of people
100%.
recognize that they can, in Massachusetts, can just go to PT.
Yeah. You don't,
We could say Massachusetts for PT.
Yeah, done.
you don't need a referral. Just go contact that PT.
Yeah,
you can
just walk
make
on
it
in.
happen. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being
Yeah.
on.
Thank you. That was
Thanks for
great.
having me.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Mooch is great. Yeah. I had a gymnastics coach for like 14 years, and they didn't know my first name.
Because they called you Mooch.
Yeah, literally. The only reason they knew is because I got hurt, and they needed to like contact
Hey,
anyone.
what's this kid's name?
Yeah, they were like,
We have Mooch here?
Yeah.
Who the fuck's Mooch?
Bullshit.
All right, and we get our next guest on, Mooch, over at Sanctuary Wellness,
Yes, Sanctuary Wellness Center. Yeah.
which Tim is now rocking the hat here.
Yes.
Great hat.
Great hat. Awesome. So, introduce yourself. Obviously, people know you as Mooch, but introduce
Sure
yourself.
do.
What do you do? How'd you get started? And then we'll go from there.
Cool. Amazing. Well, I'm Christina.
Or Mooch.
For those of you who don't know my first name, it's Christina. Everyone calls me Mooch in Boston. It's a family name, so I guess I just was born into it. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur full-time for about 15 years, which is friggin' wild. And starting businesses is definitely something that like lights my fire. I have all these crazy ideas, and then they actually like come into life, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't so crazy. So
Nice.
I am the founder of Sanctuary Wellness Center, co-founder of Sanctuary Wellness Center with my partner Josh. Sanctuary is a social wellness community based with contrast therapy. We have a studio for sound, meditation, breath work, all of the modalities that I feel like Boston truly fucking needs. And I don't know if we can swear on this, but
You're
Say
good.
the fuck you want.
we
Yeah.
need it. Like, speaking for myself, but we all need it. I'm also the founder of I Am Essential, which is essential energy oil that I recently created. It was just kind of one of these ideas that spawned off of one of the retreats that I was hosting, and started to create these essential energy oils that are very woo-woo and very fun to like scratch that itch of myself as well.
Nice.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Nice. So, I guess with the what came first, Sanctuary Wellness or the essential oils?
Sanctuary Wellness.
Okay. How did you start to get into that type of
Yeah, so I've been a coach for a long time. I started in fitness. When I moved back to Boston, I was in Denver for 5 years. I have no idea where I came back other than my family. I love it so much here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Boston
Okay,
originally.
okay.
Yeah. So I made my way home. I'm very happy that I came back. But when I moved back from Denver, I started in fitness full time. It's kind of how I got connected with Conor and
Gotcha.
this whole event. But I've been in fitness since I moved back, and I started a company in 2018 called Move, and it was based in movement, quite literally. But I noticed that I could only do so much with people inside of a studio, so I built an online platform for women that was based with movement, nutrition, gut health, and mindset. So I got into mindset coaching, turned into a life coach, turned into a business life coach. I started hosting retreats, and then all of a sudden I was like, why am I traveling for all of these things that I know I could bring to Boston?
Yeah.
So enter Sanctuary, where, the meditative piece, 100%, very chill yoga vibe, not too much like crazy. I'm a big CrossFitter, so we're not going to do CrossFit there, which is like exactly what I need, is to
Good.
do something that's like a little bit better for my nervous system. But I realized that so many times between my partner and I, like, we were traveling to go find these things. And so when I started studying sound, I'm now a sound facilitator and a breathwork facilitator. And I was like, why are we not just like, we need this?
Yeah.
Like, I can't keep bringing people out of the country to go and practice these things. Like, it's
Yeah.
silly. So,
Sure.
yeah. So that's the game plan.
That's so awesome.
Yep. Yep. We've been doing pop-ups since 23. So now we're like very much so like expired to open our own space. I'm like, we are way overdue. So our goal is to hopefully sign a lease in the next month and then open by Jan 1 of 26.
Do you have a specific location in mind?
We
Southie,
do.
or?
We looked at a couple places in Southie. We're leaning towards Back Bay just because it's a little bit more transient. I was going to like New York to go to, I don't know if you've heard of Bathhouse or other ships.
Yeah.
Very similar concept. So I'm like, why am I going to New York? And then I looked at, where in New York are these places? And obviously New York is a lot different than Boston, but Back Bay kind of provides that like transient space for people coming in and out of the city. So
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. You're a big CrossFitter.
I'll say big CrossFitter. It takes up a lot of my time. But we have, I'm on a team that's going to semis in a couple weeks. So
let's go.
Yeah, so we'll be heading down to Knoxville.
Matt early?
Yeah,
Fuck you, Matt early.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
Yeah,
Do
fuck
more
you, Matt
burpees,
early.
Matt early.
Yeah, I was just on
That's
FaceTime with him.
Oh, no.
That's awesome.
So Matt and Austin and Carly. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Very cool.
So,
Very cool.
It's a fun
so
team.
You born and raised in Mass.
Yep.
You started a lot of brands.
Yep.
A lot of it it sounds like a lot of it just comes from like passion.
It did, and like, I think fitness is a gateway to so many. Like I always call it a gateway drug to like literally so many things and so many opportunities. And I was an athlete growing up. I was a gymnast for a long time. Ended up running track D1 at Bucknell, and my dad had passed when I was a senior in high school, and so much of my connection with him was through sport. Like he was a professional power lifter. He had all this, really cool background, and so much of what we had connected on, even in his like later days of he had ALS. So like, mentally still equipped and physically just like completely stripped. So you go from professional power lifter to like fucking nothing. It's like absurd. But that was a big part of our connection was my sport, and so. I think I was missing once I graduated college. I was missing like that team mentality, and then I realized that it's so much more about the like stillness in sport than it is the movement in sport. And I always leaned on movement as like this medicine, and I truly believe it is. Like if I don't work out, I'm a nutcase.
Sure.
Same.
Yeah, like it is. But I honestly noticed that more of the power for me was coming from the still moments, the silent moments that I kind of just like got to drop in.
Cool.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I feel like there's such a trend right now in the whole fitness space of like before, like when CrossFit was super, super popular, it was like, let's just do devil's press and max our clean and do pull-ups and let's just smash our face into the ground as hard and as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And now I feel like there's such a trend where people are actually taking the time to do fitness to feel good, and not just like physically. Like, yes, you can look good physically if you work hard, but also just taking the right steps to go in the sauna, go in the cold plunge, like feel good. And I've noticed that over the past couple of years where I was very much like, let's just do CrossFit and let's just do this and get it over with. And now it's, I want a sauna, I want a cold plunge. I was just at some farm in New Jersey, and they brought the sound bath thing in the sauna, and they were dinging it, and I was like, I felt like I got out and I was like, I could kill a horse right now. Like I felt
like
amazing.
So we just did a sound bath, and a girl came up to me after, and she's like, Mooch, I'm vibrating. And I'm
It's
like,
insane.
You are the sound. Like your cells are
sound.
literally turning into the sound. But it's interesting because I think we are moving away from, and don't get me wrong, like I love being in a pain cave. Like I could go there and I could hang out there for a long time. But like this whole idea of like no one cares, work harder is like very much so to rest. And so it's interesting because it's like, let's work hard, but let's also like see that the rest is part of the working hard. Like that's almost fucking harder for us is to like take a rest. And so I'm like, okay, if we actually want to like work hard, then work hard on like sitting in stillness.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So
that's a really good point, and I like that. Not to get super, super deep, but it's almost like the yin and yang of CrossFit. You have like the really hard work versus like the, hey, we also need to like decrease our adrenals, decrease our cortisol. Like
CrossFit is such a mental sport. And I'm like, we're driving ourselves even more mental by like not fucking doing the things that our body needs.
I think again, it all goes back to just like understanding it's so funny because my fiance all the time, more and more I get into this. Like the other day, she looked at me and she was like, "You're literally turning into a fucking hippie." I was just
She's like, why do you smell like incense?
I was like, good.
Hey, I need that.
I have like,
need a little more of that.
Yeah, I found these oils on Amazon. I put them on my wrist before I go in the sauna. And
I'll get you some oils.
Yes, there
That's
you go.
literally, we're like all fucking type A
And
hippies.
so how'd you get into the oil side of the?
Yeah, so I used to use oils for like migraine. When I was a gymnast, I would always smash my head against everything because it was like, you're like a little daredevil.
Sure.
And I used to get really bad migraines. So I started playing around with essential oils because like I could only take so much Advil. Now I don't think I've taken Advil in like 20 years, not to age myself. But like it's like one of those things that I was like, this isn't helping. So I started playing around with essential oils. I started, I had like really bad skin growing up. So it was like, let me play around with that. And it was more recently I host retreats everywhere. I literally will go anywhere with a group of people because it's so fun. But I started making them. I was like ordering them from Amazon and like I was like a little fucking chemist. And a bunch of the girls after the retreat, they were like, hey, we ran out of that oil. Like, would you make us more? And I was like, sure. And it was them that was like, you should really like think about bottling this. So the premise of it is like this is going to get really fucking witchy, but like all of the oil, it's called I Am. And so all of the oils are labeled a certain energy. So like I am love. The basis of the love oil is like rose and patchouli and very floral. And then the roller that you apply it with is actually a crystal.
Sure.
So now we're getting like really
super woohoo. Yeah.
Yeah, but then like
But it makes
calm,
sense though too.
Yeah, so like calm we'll use in the sauna. It's lavender, geranium, there's chamomile, and the crystal that you use to roll it on is amethyst. So it's like all about recovery. It's all about calming your nervous system. So that was a big part of it. It was like a lot of the retreats that I was doing and asking these women to like be still. I'm like, okay, cool. Can we use aromatherapy to support them and just like chilling the fuck out because we all kind of need it.
That's what we all need. Yeah.
So are you, when you're making these oils, are you buying different oils and mixing them together, or do you have like a production line?
So it's not me. It's not my crummy hands making them anymore. I have full manufacturer inside the U.S., which is really important to me to kind of keep this here. And they're based in Oregon, so also on the woo-woo train.
Yes.
And it's been really cool to like create, and I'm going to launch a line for June. And then we're going to start to get into like the zodiac signs because like the girlies love zodiacs.
That's where I stop. Yeah, exactly.
The girlies love zodiacs. Yeah.
Well, even when we were talking to Conor earlier, he's like, like I got into the sound baths. I think may have been you. He's like, I was doing sound check for it, and then he ended up just like, he's like, that's foo-foo, it's woo-woo, and then when he was there, he was like, oh, this is cool. So
it's funny because I did that one with my friend Allie, and in order for us to get people there, I had to teach a boot camp class.
Like,
so it was marketed as like Mooch is teaching strength, and it was like a couple years after I had left Barry's. I used to teach at Barry's boot camp, and I hadn't taught a strength class in a couple years. So everyone was like, all right, we're going to go to this boot camp class. And then there's like some weird shit after, but like we're going to go to the boot camp class. And it was so powerful to take them like on this trip of like, let's get really high and like jump around and like freak out and scream and woo. And then everyone was laying on their backs. So it was like, again, the gateway to experiencing something else that was potentially, I don't want to say better for them, but they needed it.
But what they needed at the time, yeah.
Cool. If you truly pay attention, like, not going in there and being like, oh yeah, like whatever. If you actually sit and you actually try to remain still and go through the practice of what someone like you is teaching when you're doing something like that, you hear that little ding and you're like, I can feel it in my bones.
It's like eyes rolled
out. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I mean, this is awesome. I think this has been the most interesting conversation that we've had today.
Take the cake.
Yeah. No,
wow,
I think what you're doing is great.
Thank you.
I think it's really, really cool. You have a really cool story.
Thank you.
And loaded question. And this is the question we've asked everyone. I think I have an idea of where yours is going to go.
Oh, shit.
You're driving to and from Boston. You're on the highway, right?
Yep.
There's traffic. There's no traffic. Doesn't matter what it is. But there's a billboard, and it's a poster for your life. You have 10 seconds to look at it because you're driving. What does it say? For example, some of the F-45 girls said that one of them was going to have a head on a shark with barbells. Someone else had a very inspirational quote. Margarite said, "You can look good inside and look good naked." So there are a lot of different things.
Okay, this is a good question. I thought you were going to be like, if there's one person you could eat dinner with, dead or alive,
Well,
who would it be?
Hey, yeah, sure.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It always stresses me out. I need more sound for that. I would think one of my former mentors, coaches, love him to death. He's incredible. Called me a possibilitarian, and it was one of the things that stuck with me. Is like, what I want to leave on the planet is like, it doesn't matter who you are, what your adversities are, where you come from. You can always make it happen if it's what you want. So probably something along those lines.
I like that.
I kind of like the shark with the barbell idea because, like,
You could do that.
barbells,
Yeah,
like,
you could do that,
I could
yeah.
get some of that woven in, but something along those lines. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never heard that term before.
I think I made it up.
That-
Like, I
you
think
have
we
to coin
made the
that.
word
That's
up.
okay.
You have to trade.
Yeah.
That's not trademark. Don't steal that term.
That's a theme that we're seeing. Everyone's Sal had said, what do you say? Let it go.
Let
or
it go.
Steve had said, let it go.
Let it go.
Sal said everything's temporary. Yours is very on par with that. I think.
Yep.
Cool.
I think a lot of people are realizing, or subconsciously, moving more towards just like being more mindful,
Yeah.
which is really, really cool. But it sounds like you got it all figured out,
Yeah.
so that's great.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're working on it
Awesome.
every day. Thank you,
Awesome.
guys.
Yes,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank you. That was
Appreciate it.
great.
Yeah, it was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. All right,
good
and we're
stuff.
back. 2 more special guests, Christina and Lydia over at F45. And which location are you guys at?
So we represent the financial district location and the North End location.
Very cool. That covers a decent amount of Boston there.
Yeah.
It's a nice little corner. I feel like it's all like one little area. We get a lot of the same group, so it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good group.
How'd you guys get into F45?
So I took F45 back in college. I went to Auburn and I fell in love with it. The group, the community was just insane. It was unlike any other. And I remember the day that I left to come up to Boston, I bawled, sobbed, crying like a baby. It was just the best group of people. And I came up here, and actually when I came up here, there was no F45 in the city.
Okay.
So they had just started building the F45 financial district. It was under construction. And I remember calling, and I was like, listen, I want to be a part of this in any way possible.
Yeah.
I don't care what job,
Yeah.
I'm mopping the floors, whatever, I want to be in it. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into things.
Yeah, a little different story for me. I mean, I felt kind of ass backwards in F45. I was coaching like spin and CrossFit, doing different things
Cool.
before, and then I got a management position when we were opening the financial district studio. So I was there when it was like just bare bones before it was even built, and then Christina came on the team, and it just, we kind of snowballed from there, and I love it. It's awesome.
Nice.
A little bit of coaching, a little bit of managing. It's a good group
Nice.
of people. So
That's
it worked out
So
well.
you said that you were doing CrossFit before, or
Yeah.
coaching it. Where at?
So I was in Providence, so it was CrossFit East Providence.
Yes. Yep. I'm in
yeah.
Providence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my family was doing it. My dad was coaching. I was living at home
Oh,
at
no
the time.
way.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to go in. I'd work out with him. Like, got
Super
really
cool.
ingrained with that group. And I coached like a kids class there, and I would do spin. So a little
way.
bit of everything. Yeah, it was
Nice.
cool.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And you said you went to Auburn.
Yes.
Okay, I'm a big Alabama fan. So
Oh.
I don't know. I just gotta say, are you from?
You didn't tell me that before I sat down here.
Are you from the South?
No, I'm from Kansas.
Kansas. Okay.
I said you have a little bit
You
of
have
an
a little
accent.
bit of an accent. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you were a coach elsewhere. You stumbled into F45. You in college started F45, and
Yeah.
you came here and decided that this was something that you want to be a part of. Okay. Now you mentioned that when you started, you got a management position already, or did you guys both coach first, or how'd
Yeah,
that
so
come about?
I wasn't coaching F45. I had management experience in the past, and then we were looking for a studio manager for our financial district location. So I got that job before I even started coaching F45, and then I started coaching at our Weymouth studio just to get accustomed to the way the brand works, the way we coach, and then it progressed into just coaching 17 classes a week and
Wow.
working at the studio, and so it worked out really well. I mean, I love coaching. It was it was a perfect blend of spin and CrossFit, because you kind of
Sure.
have that lifting aspect, that power move, and then you have
Yeah.
your hype on the mic, you're talking to
Yeah,
people, and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
having fun.
Yeah, they're great classes.
You have
They're
mics
fun.
at F45?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not
Okay.
every F45 has them, but the way our studios run, we just feel like it,
It elevates the product.
Exactly.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Totally.
So how'd you get into the management side of things?
So I actually started out as the head trainer. So I was head trainer of our financial district location, expanded to head trainer of both locations, financial district and North End. And so just real recently now, I'm the Boston area manager. So I
Nice.
manage both of financial district and the North
that's
End.
for you. That's great. That's
Thank you, guys.
fantastic.
And then I also am the Massachusetts District Athletics rep. So I help just kind of the athletics education, making sure that everybody's on the same page.
Very cool.
Whole nine yards. So.
Very
That's
cool. So
awesome.
it sounds like making an impact in fitness is important to the both of you. It seems
100%.
like it's not just to go coach for fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like it has a lot more meaning and purpose to you. Awesome. Did you guys play any sports like in college, or did you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a gymnast growing up my entire
Nice.
life, so that's just kind of been in the forefront. I've always had fitness as, my entire like personality
Yeah.
that's been in the background. That's just been like what I've known for forever. So
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine a life where I didn't have fitness somewhere, right in there.
That's
Totally.
great. How about
We
you?
were kind of two different ends of the spectrum. It's just the way we are.
Yeah.
But
That's why it works.
Yeah, that's why we blend so well. So I was like basketball, volleyball, track, that kind of all
Nice.
growing up. Played a bunch of different sports, and then I was a kinesiology major in college. I went to UMass Amherst, and I just loved like the science aspect of things. I didn't know really where I wanted to take me.
Yeah.
So it just worked out really well. Like I love being active. I love moving my body, and it paired well.
Yeah. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, you guys are here with F45 today.
Happy to
Tell
be
us
here.
a little bit about so if you're on camera, you can see, if you tilt away that way, that's where the booth is. But if you're listening on Spotify, whatever else
Apple
platforms
Podcasts.
you're hosted on, tell us what you guys got going on at the booth.
So we have a little spin the wheel. Nothing too crazy. We like to say like we F45 and Yap. We're big personalities. We like to talk.
Okay.
So we're like we're not going to do a lot of like face value stuff. We're going to just like have a good conversation.
Cool.
So we have the spin the wheel. We're giving out a couple free classes. It's
Nice.
high risk, high reward.
Nice.
Because we have a couple burpees, push-ups, challenges
I
in there.
saw that.
So
That's my
yeah.
biggest fear,
Yeah.
is someone telling me to do push-ups in public.
yeah, I know. I mean,
Really?
someone did. Someone opted out. They were like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm so sorry.
Yes, no, that's fantastic. Well, I mean, I think what you guys are doing is great. I love how you guys got into it and what got you guys started here. I guess this is a loaded question. This is a surprise question. It's for each of you.
Right.
So whoever wants to go first can. You're driving in and out of Boston, okay? You're on the highway.
Yeah.
You have a billboard, and it's anything about you, your life, your product, F45, whatever you want. It's a poster for you. What does it say? Remember, you have 10 seconds to look at it when you're driving.
You don't want to distract the drivers. You don't want to put too much on it.
It's just so stressful. I'm like not good with these kind of questions. I like take a time to think.
I feel like this is taking like the most imaginative route possible.
Good God.
And my sign will distract the driver because it's going to get their attention for sure. But my sign is going to be a picture of the ocean. It's
Okay.
going to be my face on a shark. I love the ocean. I was a marine biology major. It's going to be my face on a shark, but then it's also going to have like some squat racks in the back.
Yes.
What does it say? Anything, or just like F45?
It's just
Art.
bad vision.
Okay, nice.
That's all I have with
You
the
want a
vision. That's what
shark.
it is. That's what it encompasses me. So
I
if
like
you're driving
it.
in and out of Boston, you see that sign, you'll be like, oh,
That would be a
Christina.
really cool
That's
sign.
the girl from F45.
That's the girl.
Yeah.
I see
Shark
her.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shark girl.
Get a girl who can do both. Like I feel
Exactly.
like that's you right
Exactly.
there. A little
Sharks
bit
and
of the
squats.
ocean.
Yes, sharks and squats.
Squats.
That's me.
Oh God, I'm not gonna have a loaded question. Like I feel like that's so tough. That was a good answer.
That was hard.
I'm not that creative. I'll be honest. I feel like it would just be like me smiling. Like I really don't. I can't. Like I'm blanking.
That's
Maybe
okay.
a good quote.
What would it say?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
For example, Margarite's was
Yeah, give me
you can
some-
look good inside as well as outside, and Connor's was.
All
Well,
in
we
all
asked
the time.
Connor, and Connor talked for 5 minutes, so we don't really know what Connor's was.
I feel like they're both of them are so like in tune. Like they
Yeah.
just like I blank. Like I'm all comedy. Like I'm all like in the moment.
Okay, so what do you think?
There you go. Yeah.
Ooh, what's something that I say? I feel like
What-
you.
what
I feel like
comes to
she would
mind?
have an answer
I
for me.
would
That's how
know.
much time we spend together. I
It's a
feel
lot
like.
of like a.
Actually, I'm gonna have Christina
Phone a
answer
friend.
for me.
Phone a
Yeah,
friend.
phone a friend. That's what I'm doing.
I got it. It's just gonna be like okay. So Lydia's poster, same thing, very imaginatory. It's her. It's just her face. Her
Okay.
face. A bunch of like caffeine all around it.
Oh
Lydia
yeah, big
loves
caffeine
caffeine.
addict problem.
Okay.
Freaks me out. Like I love her for it. And then it's just. I digress.
I
at the
digress.
top.
Okay.
Love
We
it.
Yeah.
talk and we get on tangents and
And you say,
And
I
I
digress.
do say I digress. All right,
That's
let's
fine.
move on. Yeah.
So your idea of a billboard is very visual, right?
Yeah.
visual.
Okay, distractions, visual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
A lot of
for
car
drivers.
accidents
Yeah.
on the highway.
I wouldn't want to be driving on that highway.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't either.
Well, ladies, thank you. This was
Awesome.
great.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thanks for having
We'll
us.
pop over to the F45 booth. If I get stuck with push-ups, I'll have Matt do them.
He'll phone a friend.
and I'll phone a friend. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well, thank
guys.
you so much for having
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Thank
that was
you.
great. That was great. Yeah, you're one.
We shouldn't be touching the levels,
Sorry,
bro.
I'm sorry, guys.
Like
Leave it to
DJ,
the
sorry,
pod, get the
DJ.
pod guys.
Hold on, I got to turn mine up a bit.
I'm good. Sorry, my bad.
No,
my bad.
man, it's all good.
Don't leave me near the.
All good.
How's everybody? Everybody good?
I
Everybody
think so.
cool? All right.
I don't know. I'm all fucked up now.
I feel great. Hey, I'm good.
All right.
I don't know about you.
Go ahead, Matt.
Remind me, Miles. No,
Caleb.
yes. Miles, Caleb.
Yes.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Matt, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Great guys.
Great. Yay. We're all great guys here. All right, we got Miles and Tim and Caleb
Yes.
Caleb.
back on.
Miles. So
And
ready?
Miles Caleb.
Miles.
No,
And you
we
guys,
got you.
Calm and
We're
dad.
with you. Calm
and
and
dad.
dad. Yep.
So
That's right, man.
we've been starting these off with introduce yourself. Who are you guys? What do you do? And
Word.
what brought you here?
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. You want to go?
Well, I have 3 kids.
Okay.
He's got 2 kids. When I was like early on, I was rocking like a frozen diaper bag.
Okay.
With Anna and Elsa on it, or like a pink bag, or something my wife bought. And so Miles was expecting his first, so we were at a Christmas party.
Yep.
And he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm not wearing that." And I was like, immediately like, "Yeah, I don't know why I do." And he was like, "Hey," and this is genuinely what happened. He's like, let's make a bag for dads, a diaper bag for dads." And I was immediately, it was like, yes, done. So we literally met weekly from there, built this bag.
Yep.
Hit the ground running, designed it. Took way too long probably, but
Yes.
we've learned so much, and now it is what it is. Common Dad. We just launched our bag on Kickstarter, wrapped up the campaign.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, I'm skipping a lot, but go ahead,
Yeah.
you fill in the gaps, man.
Yeah, so, when the primary reason for starting Common Dad was noticing the lack of products, things for dads. As we began to progress forward and really grow the brand, we noticed that the issue is not just the lack of products, but the lack of community.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you find men in general, but dads fall into that category. Like the places where they find community aren't necessarily the most conducive for growth.
Yeah, for sure.
It's maybe fun, maybe leisure. But it's the game. It's going to the game, going to the bar, having a few drinks, which no problem with that.
Right.
But in regards to true community and growth, it's hard to find it there.
Totally.
And also
that's true.
The epidemic of men's mental health.
Sure.
You have men who are struggling with anxiety, depression.
Yep. I think 60% of men. I think 60% of dads say, "I'm lonely."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
And so, we've always been of the mindset of hey, before trying a prescription drug from your doctor, go outside and take a walk.
Yeah, sure.
Get
I agree.
active,
For sure.
plug into community. And so, we kind of realized as we started putting on, we host a weekly run club, we put on community workouts and stuff like that. As we began to engage in these community outreaches for dads, we noticed the nerve that we were hitting was dads don't have community.
Yeah.
Dads don't have a place where they can go and grow and plug in together. And so we've been primarily focusing on that. And so, something I always say to Caleb is I want Common Dad to show up at events and different sporting outings, and people be like, "Why is there a dad brand here?" That doesn't that doesn't really
here.
that doesn't really make sense. And to be honest, my goal is to put ourselves in places where it's that that doesn't really make sense when you're looking from the outside, but when you understand what we're trying to do from the inside, it's a perfect fit. Because
we're at a parenting expo in New York City a few months ago.
Yeah.
We're the only dad-focused brand. It's a parenting thing. And so when people walk by, they're doing a double take because they're like, "Oh, there's a dad thing here."
Yeah.
And so, but we started a dad run club.
Okay.
And when I say we started it, it was Miles and I just running a 5K every week, and then just literally texting other dads we knew in our area, throwing it on Facebook, Instagram, and we've just built this. So to his point about, we're finding out dads really want to come together like that, do something physical, do something active, grow together. We're experiencing that weekly. So we have probably 20, 25 guys that are running every single Saturday, running a 5K.
Nice.
And so then we're getting coffee after, talking. And so a lot of dads, aren't gonna. They might not necessarily sit down for therapy.
Sure.
And if they do, that's even better, right? More power to them. But most dads will go do something active.
Yes.
And they want to be challenged.
Yeah.
And so we're finding there's such a power in that, in just that run club. So we're starting run clubs all over.
Nice.
So we want to be the biggest dad brand in the world.
Sure.
I know it's bold, but we want to be the biggest dad brand in the world, and we want to be the biggest dad community in the world. So we want to foster and facilitate a real community to make a real impact all over.
That's
with
amazing.
These clubs.
And I guess what started out as carrying an Elsa bag turned into, hey, we want to be able to produce this so we're not walking around with a diaper bag that has
a princess on it.
For sure. with Olaf on the back of it. Yeah. And it sounds like now it's fostered around community and mental health and mental clarity, which is fantastic. I mean, where is your run club based out of? Is it in the? Are you guys in the city? Where are you guys out of?
South Shore based, but we're in Plymouth.
Okay,
cool.
Very cool. So. I mean, that's fantastic. And so, I guess what is your idea behind being here today, trying to spread the word for Common Dad? Like, obviously, I'm getting married. I don't have kids. I would imagine, I would wager a lot of people here don't have kids.
Yeah.
But it's
when do you get married?
August 29th.
Dude, congrats, bro.
Dude, congrats, bro. Let's go. You like that? I love you, man. I love you, man.
Yeah. Get some points right there.
But no, I mean, I think being here and just like having it in the back of your head is like, I want to be a dad one day, right?
Yep.
And knowing that, like, okay, one, I can walk around with a kick-ass backpack.
Come on, man.
When the time
for
comes.
sure.
But also, too, it's like, I think you're right. You meet a lot of dads, and it's like, you're not doing this alone. Like, you have a community behind you, and I think it's brilliant that you guys are putting that together.
Appreciate that.
And I think for us, like, what we're realizing, too, like, you see the gaps in the market, right? You know, why is it okay for every other brand here to be here and not a dad brand?
Yeah, sure.
And I think it's the way people compartmentalize, the way they look at fatherhood. I think, you know, one of our core missions with Common Dad is, like, changing the narrative and tearing down the stereotypes. Like, I think brands kind of stay away from dads because it's not this, like, cool, sexy thing. It's kind of like the corny,
super corny,
the dad bod, the grill tools and beer koozie. And it's like, yo, where, like, what happened to all the dad swag? Like, you know, like,
I mean, but we're looking at, like, our crew.
Yeah.
And we're like, yo, we're not that.
Like,
it's not, that does not speak to us at all.
Right.
And doesn't speak to the dads that we do life with.
Right.
Sure.
And so we're like, this is a misrepresentation now.
Right.
But also, like, the market research blew our mind, where I think, what is it, 98% of the market?
98% of all marketing in the baby industry is towards mom. When
but
dads make
are
up like 40% of the spending, so they're still buying. They're still buying the products.
Yeah.
And not to mention, we are currently living in the most involved, active generation of dads in American history.
Really?
There's never been a generation where dads have been more involved than they are today, and that number is just increasing, compounding year over year. There's 2 million new dads every single year in the United States.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is more than just an audience that needs a diaper bag. It's a massive community that is totally underserved in almost every regard. And so, you know, we want to put dads in community together where they can grow, they can get real, they can have authentic community. And do hard things. Like, we think like there's so much growth on the other side of doing hard things. So it's always one, the active community is something fun that dads can actually do together.
Yeah.
But also it's rewiring the mindset of, like, you know, pull yourself out of that 9 to 5. I'm just the provider. I wake up, I go to work, I go home, I turn the TV on, I go to bed, I do the same thing over and over again, and then you feel stuck. It's like, pull yourself out of that, set goals, chase your dreams, do big, audacious things, do hard things. You're going to be better. You're going to be better for yourself. You're going to be better as a husband. You're going to be better to your kids. It's also going to teach your kids to do hard things. You know, like telling your kids, like, oh, you can do anything you put your mind to. And it's like, well, like, are you doing that?
Yeah, sure.
And so, like, you know, we're doing Common Dad, we're putting on a 100-mile ultra.
No way.
Yeah, so so
we're putting on a 100-mile ultra. He's running 100 miles. I'm doing a marathon.
So June 21st.
Okay.
We're going to be, I'm going to be running from right around Duxbury all the way to P-Town. I'm going to try to do it under 35 hours.
Wow.
But we have guys who are stepping in, running marathons, half marathons, 5Ks, a mile. We're really the purpose behind it is one, inspire other dads to do hard things.
Yep.
And two, like really push our mission at Common Dad, which is make good dads common. And like what is
cool? Okay.
And what does that look like? The beautiful thing about that mission is every person gets to decide what that means for themselves. I'm not a runner.
Yeah.
I've never run a marathon.
Really?
So you're about to go run 100 miles?
I've never run a sanctioned run in my life.
No way.
But
you can do it.
I'm going to go do it. And
have you done a 5K?
Not a sanctioned
Dude,
one.
You haven't done. Oh, that's hilarious. I love that.
Not a sanctioned one, but I am.
Do it.
But I'm training.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm working with MyStride.
Okay.
So I've coaches from MyStride.
Coaches are helpful.
They're killers. Brendan Shea's been helping me a bunch. He's amazing. And really, it's like I think the power behind it is that I'm just a dad who works a job, who loves his family, and wants to inspire other dads to do amazing things too. Also, like, I don't know what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, like, there's also that part where it's like I'm willing to put myself in a situation where I can fail.
Sure.
I don't intend on failing, but putting yourself in a situation where
100%.
Maybe you do. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Right. But we're super excited to do that.
Yeah,
so.
man. Yeah, man.
That's really cool. I think in a time, especially like right now, where, like you said earlier, there's a lot of dads will go to a game, they go to a bar, but there's not like a community aspect. There's a different type of community aspect versus something like this.
Yep.
And I think even with those things, like I mean, nothing against drinking, but like it seems like as far as Generation Z is coming up, drinking is it's going down.
Yeah.
So things like this for community seem to, and the Gen Z will have kids soon. Some already do. You know, it's like there's a need for that, and a need for dads. So and I love you guys slogan.
For sure.
But say it again.
Make good dads common, right?
Make dads common.
Make good dads common.
I love that slogan.
And
That's a great slogan.
I think that's so good because, like, you made such a good point earlier where it's like before you'd go work 9 to 5, you come home, eat, you go to bed, you wake up. And I think for so long, like, that was a stigma of dads. Like, our grandfathers, they would go home. My grandma was a stay-at-home mom. She cooked, she cleaned, she did everything. And now it's like I see even my dad when I was growing up, but my brother-in-law on my fiance's side and my actual like real brother-in-law, just seeing them be so involved with their kids.
Sure.
And it's such a different life versus like what my dad went through. And I think it's so awesome. And I think obviously you guys being almost what it sounds like the pioneers to really allowing a community like this to evolve and grow, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's cool, like just recognizing it. I feel like what we say a lot is I feel like it's almost like we didn't start something, we just found it and just put words to it and made it come alive. Yeah. And so like you're spot on though. Like dads today are like they're wiping butts and changing diapers. Yeah. They're making school lunches. They're teaching their kids values, like sitting them down and doing some coaching and talking. Whereas, not to throw shade at any generation, but the generation before it would just look different.
Toughen up.
It's different.
Yeah.
Also, 2 generations ago, like those dads were at war.
They were at war.
So like, like you're not changing diapers. So it's not that it's a better generation. It's just a different time. It's a different time.
Yeah.
And so we feel like we're riding the wave.
100%.
And we believe, like, we just believe at the core, you don't have to throw in the towel. You can be high performing, high achieving, and radically intentional with your
100%.
your kids and lead well at home and in the workplace and in the gym and wherever. So that's like our core belief, and we're seeing dads do that every day.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And so you guys just launched? You're on Kickstarter, so you just launched, I would
just
imagine?
Just wrapped it up.
Yeah, so our Kickstarter campaign came to a close. It was super cool. We did, I mean, I can say it, right? It is public. It is public.
We're on the Roadie Strength podcast.
But we
the fuck you on.
You better talk about it.
But we launched. We did 30K in sales in 8 hours.
Wow.
No way.
And like the support, the backing, at such an early stage for us has been like so unbelievable. You know, it's
even
been great.
just the DMs on Instagram, people hitting us up, like thanking us for it. We're like, thank you. You know,
Yeah, no, thank you.
But people saying we resonate with it. So even beyond like the sales, like just that alone, just the community and support has been amazing. Amazing to see.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
I mean, that's fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah,
I think
appreciate it,
it's going to be such a pivotal experience, and I think a lot of folks will get involved. So we always have one question, and it's going to be for both of you. Both of you have to answer at separate times. Okay.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Talking at the same time.
Yes. So you're on the highway, you're driving home, or driving to or from Boston, and you see a billboard. And you have your own billboard to either describe your life, slogan, business, whatever you want, but it's about you. People on the highway, they're driving
not the brand.
And it can be anything.
It could be.
So for example, the F45 girls, one girl said that she would have a shark lifting a barbell, but her face would be on the shark. Mooch said, let it be, let it go. Mixed bag of a few things. But if you have a billboard, what would it say?
Blank canvas,
Blank
whatever you
canvas.
want it.
That's a great question. But it's got to be a few words.
It can be anything you want. It can be a picture. It can be a few words. It can say Common Dad, whatever you want.
Got it. You want to go first? You got something brewing, cooking?
That's a good
His eyes are looking up, so you know he's thinking about something.
Yep, that's a good
He's got it written in the brim of his hat.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a black billboard.
Okay. I like
For
where
sure.
he's going.
Black and white.
With white lettering.
Yep.
That's already where I went.
Okay.
Same wavelength.
The brand.
And I think it'd be a question.
Ooh.
Okay, what would the question be?
The question would be,
do you hate your Elsa bag?
Common.net. That's the website.
It's a hard question.
It's a hard question.
It's a hard question.
I think all I got right now, I think if I went home and like did a mood board and
spent some time, slept on it.
Well,
I could come up with something cool.
Yeah, bro. We'll be right. We'll give us 24 hours.
Fair. TBD.
I think it would. The question would be. This is a hard question, guys.
All right, I got something.
All right,
I think this question is something that I think about.
Okay.
So I think when you said a question, I think that made me go there. But something like, if you knew, let me think about the phrasing. If nothing was impossible,
Okay.
for you, what would you do?
That's good. That's good.
Like what would you contribute to the world if there was nothing impossible?
That's deep.
What would you bring?
That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah. Because I mean, I guess what I think about a lot, this is kind of deep, but is, and not to get morbid, but like, hey, we're all, 10 of 10 die.
Yeah. True.
Yep.
There's one who didn't. Jesus Christ.
There we go.
And so if I'm gonna die and I'm gonna live as well as I possibly can, what am I gonna put out in the world to make a difference, make a change, add value? What is it? If there's nothing impossible, what am I gonna do?
Did you maximize your life? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You got one shot.
I like that.
honestly, mine would be.
It's gonna be better now.
No,
He's gonna one up that.
No, I had the thought. I just.
What did you? Same as the billboards last time, but
same
what
billboard.
about better?
Same billboard.
Same
I
billboard.
was
Okay,
just
okay.
trying to think of what the question would sound like. I think it would be if your kids wrote your story, what would it say?
I like it.
I like that, bro.
I like
Those
that.
are both good.
I like
Those
that.
are both good.
Or make it common.
Make it
I like that too.
Common.dad.
Common.dad. Hell yeah, boys. We appreciate
and it would have
you guys.
a tiger on a surfboard riding away. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
That's
your third billboard.
Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on.
No,
Good to
we
meet you guys.
appreciate you, boys.
You guys are dope.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate you.
Where can people find you guys?
Common.dad.
Common.dad. Okay.
Common.dad on Instagram. Our Kickstarter campaign just came to a close, so keep an eye out for our official website launch coming right around Father's Day.
Deal.
So there we go.
I'm putting this in the universe. Getting married in August.
Dude,
We're
let's
going on
go.
our honeymoon in January, so hopefully pop out a little.
9 months later.
A little. Yeah, so
okay.
from there. So I'll let you guys
Get
go.
to work, bro.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
you know where to come.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, boys. Appreciate
All right,
you.
guys. Thanks.
Dude. All right, are we rolling? Yeah, the red light's on. You know what that means. All right, and we're wrapping up the day, wrapping up the podcast. A really fun day.
Yes.
Really fun day. Awesome job to Conor. Awesome job to all the sponsors, everybody that showed out. You did really good in the High Rocks
I won.
You were in first place for 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, great day. Had a lot of great guests on. We had Margarite from MyStride, the two girls from F45, Sal, Mooch from Sanctuary Wellness. We had two of the boys from Common Dad. We had Conor. We had a physical therapist from Ripple.
Everybody fights.
Everybody fights. I would say that we had a great day of
fitness.
We're recapping our podcast.
The Roadie Strength Podcast.
Take a sticker.
It'll be out soon.
And so it was just a great day of just getting folks together and talking about fitness and wellness. And I still can't catch my breath from that High Rocks workout. But I had a great. What would you say was your favorite interview that you did today?
Ooh. Hard to choose favorites because I did genuinely, as I usually do, always do, genuinely
enjoyed all of them.
Enjoyed all of them because everybody has their own perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the cop-out answer in me, which is true. But one highlight I'll say that still sticks with me now is the Common Dad guys.
Yes.
The Common Dad guys, what they're doing for the brand, what they're doing for that section of the men's health movement, and just their two seemingly pretty sharp business-minded guys. Like, I think they'll do well. I think they're going to blow up.
Yeah, that was
I have
awesome.
a feeling, yeah.
I think the Common Dad guys were great. I really enjoyed talking to Sal about High Rocks.
Yes.
But I would say my favorite interview was Mooch.
Mooch, yeah.
She was great.
She's
it was
awesome.
really great to chat with her about a lot of things that I really care about now. And like I said on the podcast, it's so funny because Maddie keeps telling me that I'm turning into a hippie.
Yeah.
But,
you are.
Yeah, I am. But I think that was probably my favorite, just to hear the perspective of like, hey, fitness in itself is challenging and it's hard physically, but taking these steps to become mentally fit and go down the path of like, you should want to sauna, you should want to cold plunge, you should want to do sound baths and breathe and do breath work and all those things. Like, those are things that are really good for you, and it helps you become level-minded, which I think was the reoccurring theme in everyone today.
Everybody. Which is interesting because this event is, from a 20,000-foot view, it's fitness related.
Yep.
So when people think about fitness, they think about working out, pushing yourself, moving hard. But the underlying theme of today was that extra mental health aspect, extra well-being aspect, which is so important.
And it was so funny because the last question, as you guys will hear, the last question we asked was, if you had a billboard, what would it say?
Yes.
And aside from the F45 ladies telling us about a shark with a billboard,
which was awesome,
which was fantastic, I think everyone had the underlying theme. Like, someone said, "Let it go." Someone said, "All situations are temporary." Mooch had said pretty much something along the same lines of just be.
Yes.
And so it's just, I think it's very interesting how there's such a big shift in fit culture where before in 2018 or when CrossFit came about, it was like smash your face into the ground, work out as hard as you can, go into the pain cave and stay there. Now it's just like, well, go into the pain cave and stay there, but maybe go hit a sauna and cold plunge after and really set your mind right.
Yeah.
So I think it was just cool because
which we did today,
and I felt fucking fantastic.
Yes.
So much so that I won the High Rocks race. Almost.
If you didn't cheat those reps, then I would say yes. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, it was a great day. Super stoked. I guess after is a party in there, I would imagine, with a DJ or maybe not in there.
I mean,
over there.
I made the official switch myself from the coconut water to the Harpoon. Shout out Harpoon. They are the sponsor, the event, the premier sponsor, the event planner. Organizer. And I think I hear in the background Conor saying something about let's get this thing started.
That was Mr. Darren Batista.
Or is that Batista or DJ Costa? One of them.
I don't know. However, nonetheless, great day, great event,
great day,
and
10 out of 10.
I'd give it an 11 out of 10.
Whoa!
And I don't really give many things more than 6 out of 10. And I would say it was great. Super proud of Conor for putting this on. And just getting something like this going early morning. But after the sauna and the plunge and the pliable, I felt very good.
What, they jump in those boots in a second?
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Sweeney, I'll let you do the official sign off, but...
All right. Roadie Strength, we are signing off.